back to your downloads folder here. These have already been extracted, so that's fine. Now you need to get the sound, which is your down here, your file here, which is FS2004 A320 CFM56 sound pack, and then you extract the files as you did with the last two items and wait for it to extract. So there we go, there's all three of your files. Now to get these working properly, what you want to do is bring these files into here, because there's your main British Airways aircraft with all the basic sounds and panel, etc. So for example, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the panel right here, because this is the most complicated. We'll do that first. Inside the panel folder is another panel file. Keep going into the folders until you reach this. Now these are your panel files here, but if you want your gauges to show up on your panel when you load the aircraft into the simulator, you have to get all your gauge files together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, New, and Folder. So there's your new folder. Now I'm going to call this I'm going to call it gauges.a319, right? Gauges.a319. Now you'll find that your gauges are in these two files here. So what you do is you extract the files again, and there it is there. See, there's your file folder here. You open it and there are all of these. Now what I recommend you do is you just click and drag to select them all, or you could alternatively do edit copy, or edit select all then copy. But I'm just going to click and drag, then right click, copy, and then back to your gauges A319, right click, paste, and there you go. All those files that were in that last folder have now been transferred into this folder that I've just made here. Now we've done that, so we now need to do these files. So if you extract files again for this and just let it extract, it might take a wee while because it's 977 kilobytes by the looks of things. There we go. So you open it up and there you go, same sort of thing again. So edit, select all, edit, copy, then back, and then open up your gauges.a319 folder, edit, paste. Now you get this up saying, would you like to replace this file? Now I wasn't sure at first what to do, but I clicked no and it worked. So just keep clicking no. Every time it comes up, just keep clicking it and it should be okay. Because I think what it refers to is the different panel gauge sizes. You've got different sizes depending on how big your panel is in the simulator. So there we go, all your gauges are in this one folder. So what I would do now is I would take this file and go to copy this folder, and this will pop up. Now I've got this selected and you might want to know how to do this, so I'm just going to go right back to the basic. You'll probably have something like this. Click on My Computer, scroll down to Program Files, then down to Microsoft Games, so you make sure you click on Microsoft Games. Then you have click Flight Simulator 9, and then you have all of these things. It says, you know, your aircraft, your gauges, your effects, sounds, etc, etc. Now for this, because it's a gauge these are all gauges files, you will scroll down to gauges, click on that, and wait for it to select it, which is taking a while. There we go. So therefore copy, and it is now, as you can see, it is now moving your gauges.a319 to the FS2004 gauges folder. Good. So now that's your gauges sorted, and here's your panel. So you go back, here's your panel, select it, right click, copy, and then go back to your downloads folder and then select your IFDJ A319, your basic model, here, and here's your basic panels here. Now I want to show you how to do this. If you right click and go to paste, you'll see that it says this already has a folder named panel. Now you don't want to replace it, you want to keep that panel folder in case the panel that you're installing doesn't work. So what you do is you rename it panel. Actually, I'll show you what it comes to. If you click on this file here, aircraft.cfg, you will see down here it says model, panel, sound, texture. Right, now compare that to the folders model.iae and texture.blah blah blah. So basically this equals sign here acts as a dot, the dot that you see here. So model IAE, look at here, model IAE. So therefore your panel will be the panel will be looking for the folder called just panel, and because you've already got that, it uses this folder. So what you would want to do is you would rename it so that it isn't looking for this folder anymore. So what I tend to do is I just tend to go panel and then put .old. Now you can put in, you can put panel.old, you know, panel.basic. I don't really care. You put panel.bananas for all you care, you know. No, you can put the panel.bananas. So there you go. And do the same with the sound, just because we'll be doing that in the future anyway. So panel.old or sound.old, right? So now you can paste. As you see, the panel is now pasting into your folder, which takes a wee minute. I should have called my files panel.banana. Just don't know why, just random. Anyway. Right, so there you have it. The panel file is there. There you go. The panel's there. So now you go back and now we work on the sounds, which is this folder here, which you've extracted, and just click on that again. And there's your sound there. Like if you look in there, there's all your sounds which are realistic in comparison to your basic sound that you have in your file that you've downloaded, the aircraft file. So if you right click on this, copy, back again to your downloads. Oops. Come on. Right, good. And then back into your aircraft. And because you've labelled it sound.old, you can just bring this in. Right, and obviously it has sound.A320 CFM56. Now if you kept it like that, you would not hear the sound. You wouldn't have any sound at all, because remember that it looks in the aircraft file, look, it says sound equals, and there's nothing there, so it would just have to be sound on its own. So you just rename this file and just take out the dot and everything that was after the dot. So you've just got sound. So you now have sound, your panel, your gauges have been sent to the gauges folder, and that's you. So now you're ready to install your aircraft into the you're now ready to install the aircraft into your flight sim. So there you go back until you have this shown here. Now go copy, and then go up to aircraft and select that, and then press copy. Now I've already done it, so I'll get this, but I'm not going to do it because I've already done it. But you would, as I said, you would go copy this folder and make sure Flight Simulator 9 aircraft is highlighted, and then press copy, and that should so that should be us. And now all we need to do is check your simulator to see if it works. So I'm just going to close this, and bring up my flight sim here, and just wait for a wee minute for it to load. Here you go, in your flight simulator. And what you'll do is you'll go up to select aircraft, change, and just wait because it's slow because of the software I'm using here. Now one thing I recommend you do when you're installing an aircraft onto Flight Simulator is you go to that aircraft CFG file that I showed you before, and you look for what it's going to be under, because here's your aircraft manufacturer, and if you don't know, you might not know where it's going. I know where it's going, and I know what it's going to be called. It's called IFDG Airbus. So select that, and there's your British Airways A319 that you've downloaded. Everything's there. Now click OK. And now just go fly now, and this bit might take a minute or two, so just bear with me. Another thing I would like to stress about this panel, the panel that you've uploaded onto your aircraft, is that it's a very, very basic panel. So therefore, if you're wanting to look about you, you're not going to see, the rest of the cockpit. You're just going to see outside. You're going to see the wings and everything. It's not going to be like you can see round about. You're just going to have the main panel ahead of you. Now, if you want, if that's what you find comfortable, then that's fine. But the other alternative is that you keep looking around until you find a panel which surrounds you, so it makes you feel as if you're actually in a cockpit instead of floating in mid-air with a panel in front of you. So I would recommend a virtual cockpit, and I'll probably do a later video on how to get virtual cockpits to work, for example on Posky models and Project Open Sky. But for now, this is just a basic I've just muted the sound. Here's your basic panel, and you've got all your gauges here, and you could use an autopilot. Now I want to show you, if you look around, see, you can't see it. You see the engines and round about you, etc. So that's what I mean. If you want to have it cockpit, so if you look this way, you can see the co-pilot, etc. You can scout around like things like you can put in, say, panel, photolytic or 2D or whatever. There you go. And then also you've got, so there's your panel. The panel works, and now here's your sound. To download and install an aircraft in Flight Sim 2004. You can do it with any aircraft you want. I wouldn't recommend AFSIM. There are plenty of other sites in there. If you're really struggling and AFSIM don't have what you're looking for, you can always type into Google, for example, say I'm looking for a panel for an aircraft. I'd type in 757 panel FS2004 into Google, and it'll come up with a load of different websites where you can download things that have just as good quality, and there's plenty other websites out there. So I hope this tutorial has been helpful to you, and this basic tutorial has been helpful to you in how to download your basic aircraft. So yeah, I hope it's been useful to you, and I'll be making another video sometime soon on more complicated things such as getting virtual cockpits to work and etc. So thank you for watching. Keep staying tuned, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks very much.